Hello, Dumaguete.
Hello, Negros Oriental.
Hello, Sillimanians around the world.
This is Joshua Soldivillo.
And this is Ronelyn Faith Vailoces-No.
You're watching
Silliman. Good evening, everyone. This is a magazine program that talks about different aspects of Silliman University.
A program initiated to discuss different matters concerning the campus by the sea. You're watching
Silliman.
Hello there, Sillimanians and friends of Silliman around the world. Ron, Happy
Hello,
New Year.
Josh. Happy New Year still.
It is the year of the snake, diba? Oo. And of course, ito naman tayo with our New Year's resolution.
Na hindi ko alam kung kailan ba talaga mare-resolve.
Right. And of course, we are excited for the things to unfold this 2025. And of course, here in the university, it's operations as usual. But I think it's also a promising year for a lot of opportunities, a lot of activities and events. And of course, in the universities, we have this 5 C's. And tonight, we are going to feature one of those 5 C's, which is the community. And of course, there's no other office that to discuss and expand on that, no less than the Office of Community Engagement and Service Learning.
Yes.
So Ron, please introduce our guests for tonight.
Yeah, that being said, Josh, our guest for tonight is none other than the Director of the Office of Community Engagement and Service Learning, none other than Mr. Novee Maestrecampo Jr. Hello, sir, and welcome to #Silliman.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
And joining me is with Heini and Urseevi. Heini is a senior social work student and Urseevi is a psychology senior also. Both of them were representatives of the university to the Japan Service Learning Program held last December.
Oh, wow.
Hosted by the International Christian University in Tokyo, Japan.
So Heini and Sevi, welcome to the show and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right. So, Sir Nobes, I'm very sure that in the university, Silliman is known to be a research university. We also have the arts, we have culture, and perhaps the nursing program, the medtech program, or medicine. But how about in the aspect of community? How does it also fulfill its mission, particularly through your office? So if I may rephrase that question, essentially, what's the role of OCESL in the university?
Thank you, Sir Josh. I think that's a good question, really. Service, public service is really deeply rooted in the roots of Silliman University as a Christian higher education institution. I think we can trace that in the early documents written by the American missionaries here. But I think being deeply rooted, meaning it's part of our culture. So the community aspect goes beyond the trifocal function of a higher education institution. We have research, we have instruction, we have extension.
Yes.
So the Office of Community Engagement and Service Learning is the extension function of the university. However, not necessarily however, but as we operationalize it at Silliman, extension is not the only way for the university to engage and to, contribute to the development of communities. But we have other ways, like other approaches, like we have community outreach and we have service learning, where these engagements also, in a way, contribute to uplifting the lives of the community members and contributing to the general welfare of the community and the environment.
Yeah, kumbaga, Ron, we have this unique way, the Sillimanian way.
Yes.
And we will be interested to talk more about that. And Sir Novee, what are now the key projects and programs? And perhaps you can also segue that to the program that they participated.
Thank you, Sir Josh. So at OCESL, we really now operationalize the 3 functions. So we have extension, we have service learning, and we have community outreach and volunteerism. For community extension, we really put premium on the community organizing aspect, where we now have an adopted community in Barangay Palimpinon. This is in partnership with the local government of Valencia and Barangay Palimpinon, and we have I cannot remember the name of the People's Org, but it's an organized people's organization run by women. There's about 50 women. Nakapa, naghiusang kababainhan sa Palimpinon. Nakapa, yes. And it will be a registered PO under the Department of Labor and Employment. And at the same time, other community extension activities in Valencia, in Darwin are still ongoing with the theme under the theme of health, environment, education, and so on. So for service learning, we are advocating for the adoption of service learning in different courses in the university. And Silliman remains to be a champion, no, in the service learning. In promoting and adopting service learning. And for community outreach and volunteerism, we advocate for volunteer, for students, faculty members, and staff to volunteer. And we have good, quite many activities already, responding to calamities and disasters and so on during Christmas, during Founders. So these three functions is something that we really promote. But for the aspect of service learning, we have a very productive partnership with the partnership with the International Christian University in Tokyo, Japan. We've signed an MOA with them 20 years ago, and up to now, it's still ongoing. So every year, we send 2 students to ICU in Japan to participate in their Japan. It used to be JSSL, Japan Summer Service Learning during the summer term. But now, for the first time, they are now organizing it to become the Japan Service Learning Program to be held during December, during winter. So, Heini and Urseevi are representatives this school year to that program. And at the same time, ICU, through their Service Learning Center, also sends students to Silliman. Every year, we've been receiving about 16 to 20 students, Japanese students, to engage with us and our partner communities for more or less a month. And it has been a productive, reciprocal relationship between our institution. And
we have become friends.
Yes,
Yes.
productive friends.
Thank you very much for sharing that, Sir Novee. Now, since you talked about the Japan program, can you please tell us more about your experience there, Savi and Heini? Yes.
So when we arrived in Japan, for the 2 weeks term in sa Japan Service Learning Program, we've been immersed into communities and education institutions in Japan. So we've been into Catholic private school, a free school Cosmo. It is organized by volunteers where they are catering students, informal education students, but they have a lot of programs, like they are planning to immerse the students in the different countries here in the Philippines, and as well as we are also immersing in communities, the Chikyujin community in Mitaka, Tokyo. We've stayed engaged with the Japanese families under the community.
Wow. So did you stay with a family there?
For half a day, but they taught us their culture. We've been cooking different Japanese dishes.
Ay,
Sana may mga
Japanese
dito,
food.
no? So that they can cook for us. Well, anyway, thank you very much for sharing that, Heini. Now, Savi, can you please tell me your learnings there that you can incorporate here at Silliman University, and of course, our community partners as well?
Right, so all of us participants, there were 4 of us, because there were also 2 other students from India who were also participants in the service learning program in Japan. All of us had a similar take on, like, our biggest takeaway was the whole program was really transformative for all of us, because we thought of a lot of things that we observed, a lot of things that we learned from different community members. We thought of it as something that we can also bring here to the Philippines and also to our local communities, such as how, for example, we had an activity which was a emergency drill activity for the whole community in one of the cities in Tokyo, and it was organized by community members and some community leaders as well. And it was interesting for us, especially Heini and I, because we actually planned on maybe we can do something like this in our own communities. Like for example, start with, for example, barangays, and then maybe expand it into like
a city,
municipal city level. So because it was really interesting because a lot of sectors from their government was there. Like for example, the military was also there, the fire department, and even how the community members have their own ways of preparing for emergencies like earthquakes, fires, and typhoons, whatever emergencies that Japan usually experience. So all of the sectors of the community were really involved in this emergency drill. So, and it was conducted like by the elementary school in that city. And then it was really wholesome. It's really interesting for us, and we plan on this kind of activity. We thought of maybe doing it in our own local communities as well.
Yeah. Especially that we share the same problem, Ron, when it comes to hazard, natural hazards. So that's something that we need to prepare for. No? We're just going to pause for a short break, friends. But when we come back, let's talk about challenges. Because, mobilizing people or even establishing these friendships and partnerships are, of course, not an easy feat. No, this is
it's not smooth sailing.
Yes, it's a complex process, if I may say. So when we come back, let's talk about the challenges and how does the OCSL overcome this. And of course, let's talk more about the future outlooks for Silliman University's OCSL program. Friends, all of that and more when #Silliman returns. Please stay with us.
In the College of Mass Communication, we offer excellent quality rooms and facilities that would help you excel academically and socially. Right, Aya?
Right. I don't have to go to a different place to read and research because here in Masscom, we have all the books you need.
The college provides you with computers for making your assignments and designing and layouting your articles. Are you done, Antoine?
Almost done. It's a good thing our internet is fast and the computers are accessible.
The college offers a multi-use entertainment space to ensure the quality media will enhance the experience of broadcasting majors. Isn't that right, girls?
That's right. We're so lucky to have this room. Okay, 1, 2, 3, start.
Good morning, this is KMC News, and this is today's.
One of the college's highlight is their specialized facility for recording, production, and mixing, which can be for spoken words, vocals, instrumentals, or any other form of recording. Wow, that sounds great, James.
Oh, thank you. Sir Don helped me a lot.
Professors are the backbone of Masscom. They foster the curiosity and creativity of students. They help students learn from their mistakes, help them make decisions about career paths, and even offer guidance when life gets confusing. Most importantly, the Maestrecampo faculty treat their students like family. If you're looking for the perfect horse, choose us and join our family of Mascomistas.
Viva Mascomista! Enroll now!
Dear friends, welcome back to #Silliman. Still with us is Mr. Novee, Sevi, and Heini. Before we took a short break, Joshua asked our guest here, what are the challenges now that the office encounter, especially in forging partnerships with different communities? I believe not just from Palinpinon or Dawin, but you also have communities here in Dumaguete City. Sir Novee.
That's a good question, So at OCESL, of course, the ultimate goal is to really, generally to uplift the life of a community, lives of the people in the community. And that aspect of development is, I think, not entirely the responsibility of Silliman,
Yes.
but it's the responsibility of the government and many actors. So from that aspect of, development approach, we really rely on partnerships and collaboration. So from our end, we accept the reality that we can only do so much as far as Silliman is concerned, as far as what we can do to the community.
Totally agree.
So what we do is we really establish partnerships and collaborations. But now we work closely with, government offices, institutions. No? So local governments, barangay government units. So we work closely with them. But the challenges has always been, the interest. So at Silliman, our interest will always be for the benefit of the community. Well, segue na siguro. We get to do research and so on like that, and some accreditation requirements. But nonetheless, that's ultimately the goal. Being part of our mission, we're mandated to do it, and so on. No? But it's the interest, how to partner for a project or a program where it will involve 3 to 4 partners or collaborators. So what are the interests are we moving forward with? So, but at Silliman, we remain that our goal is to contribute to the community positively, and also perhaps also we accept that resources are always limited. So there is something that Silliman can offer. We have brilliant researchers, professors that could share their knowledge to the community, while we are limited with certain technologies that other actors or other partners could provide. So we really rely on that. And that kind of also captures the whole aspect of extension, where there is something that new knowledge being transferred to the community. So, among the many challenges, but to sum it up, challenges really is something like challenges in doing so, but the challenge also there is to really move forward with it, which is also in a motivation for us to really create new ways or create and think of new ways how to do things, particularly that within a community, like Heini is a social work student, I think she will verify that we can only do so much, we cannot control within what's happening in the community, but yet we can plan and we can anticipate and we can be adaptive to whatever changes.
And after all, I think that's the very essence of community work, getting different actors, stakeholders, and establish these partnerships. Now, I'd like now to go back to Heini and Sevi, because of course, when you say Silliman education, one of the things that we always emphasize is, this kind of experience that's authentic. And I think that experience that you had this December, winter in Japan. Oh. So it must be a cold yet unforgettable experience. How did it impact you as a Sillimanian, Heini, and Sevi? For instance, you as a psychology student, and both of you are seniors, social work student, how did it impact you as far as being a student is concerned?
Right. So for me, as you mentioned, it was the winter season, so it was really cold there. But the weather was so cold, but at the same time, the welcome that we received was really warm. So it was really nice. It was really, all of the interactions we had with the different community members were really genuine and were really wholesome, because we were able to exchange cultures in a way that is really wholesome, and we also.
So what did you learn about the Japanese culture?
Oh yeah,
you didn't expect.
Yeah, we realized that there were also some, like for example, in the house visit that we had, in my host family, this was really a family that are living in the modern times, because their house is really like, of course, in adapting to modernity. So and then. There were a lot of appliances that, of course, they were
so
really
high technology,
really high technology. But at the same time, they really still were trying to preserve their culture. And then this is the interesting. What really interested us was how they were still able to preserve their culture amidst modernity in Japan. And it was for us. Also, we reflected upon our culture as well, our own lives as well, and how we try to adapt within the modernity as Filipinos as well. And then I thought of my own family as well, and my own community.
That's very beautiful. Yes. How not to get lost in progress. No? That's very important. Kaya nga ako din, that's why I love Silliman, Ron.
Yeah, why?
Because we keep abreast with the changing tides of the generations. But still, we keep our identity, our Silliman Hall and our cheese bread, diba? It's part of identity. Ikaw naman, Heini, how did it impact you as a student?
I think as a social work student, we've been immersed since first year until senior year in the different communities.
Parang pagod na pagod ka na. Parang yung pagkasabi ni Heini, we were experienced. Pagod na.
Kaka-start pa lang ng year, pagod agad. Okay.
We've been immersed into the partner communities of social work department. But one thing I think that has impacted me the most in the Japan Service Learning Program is their culture of how they are very punctual. Punctuality is really one thing that we were shocked, but at the same time...
Ano ba yung punctuality to? Dapat 1 hour before nandun na?
No, but during our first meeting when we arrived, and then the next day, we had our first activity. So, and the call time was 9 a.m. But the others were... arrived. I arrived around 8:45, 8 to 8:50, and then the facilitator or one of the service learning center staff, he arrived at 8:59 a.m.
Wow.
And there was only the two of us there, and the other participants were 5 minutes late, and then after that activity, we waited for them, and then after that activity, we had a small discussion, and they really emphasized that punctuality is a must because
time conscious.
And that's one thing that I learned, because in social work we are immersing with the different communities, and we can't let our communities or the people in the community wait for us. So I think that's one learning that I learned in Japan, that you must be in the community minutes before the call time, because in Japan, when it's 9, it's 9. It's not 9:01. Even in buses, when the time schedule of the bus is 7 a.m., you must not be there at 7 a.m. because the bus will be leaving at 7 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
So
punctuality.
there's no Filipino time.
Yes,
No Filipino time. Kaya nag-physics ako, Ron. Kasi in physics, time is relative. But on a serious note, that's very, I think, eye-opener din for you, no? Especially that you're a social worker, life may be at stake, diba?
Yeah.
So napakahalaga. Now, Sir Novee, I'm very happy no, with their experiences, and congratulations to your office for doing that. Yes, for this experience. Let's talk about community impacts because I think one of the important aspects of doing all of these is sustainability. And if I may say, it should be at the core of all the implementations of the project, sustainability. So how do you do that? What's the magic there?
Yeah, that's a good question, Sir Josh. From our end, as far as community extension is involved, that's the reason why we organize community organizations. Because, organizing people and capacitating them, making these people or community people realize that they could play a role, correct ba, Heini, sa development approach series na they could play a role in the future that they imagine for themselves. And that is organized, capacitating them with skills and new knowledge, at the same time organizing them as an organization. Beyond not just a community but an organization recognized by a government agency from, of course, the experience, and as theories would say, would somewhat ensures there is sustainability. So from our end at OCSL, even before SUEP, that has been the development approach. And community organizing has, through these efforts, we have established many organizations, people's organizations, in Darwin and nearby municipalities here in Negros Oriental, and these organizations have survived 50 years, 30 years, and so on. And I think that is in a way also not unique to Silliman, but unique to Silliman in a way that this development approach is still being implemented. And then we're happy that we're creating this impact. And this is as far as community extension, that we should have something lasting and lingering change in the community. So after an organization, we envision that the community are capable. They can run the organization even if we leave. But since we have this approach, our development plan will only cover 5 years. So after 5 years, we are likely gonna go to a different community, but we will monitor them. But as I'll just share and palimpinon with Nakapa, we are on our 2nd year. So we have a people's org already there. So in the next 3 years, we will focus on establishing the organization, the sustainable livelihood program or project, and other aspects of the community needs.
I think what Sir Novee is trying to say is the people themselves are the sustainability measures. They are the ones. So once you have capacitated them and provided that sense of agency, then I'm pretty sure they are the ones who will sustain it. They will be the face of sustainability.
If I may answer, Josh, that's a value of participation, that the people are involved already in the entire aspect of what we do in the community. They are not just mere beneficiaries. They don't just receive, but they participate actively or they are involved.
True.
Thank you very much for sharing that, Sir Novee, for that noble cause to capacitate our
Kaya nga dapat i-rename na si Sir Novee. Novel. Kasi novel. Sounds like from Novee to novel. Sir Novel.
Okay, Josh, that's so witty of you.
Sir Novel.
But anyway, we just started the year 2025. And when we start the year, we have a lot of plans. Now, I'd like to ask about the future plans of the office. What are the things, the initiatives that you have planned so far? What to expect in the year 2025?
Thank you, Miss. So for this school year, we have, I think, the 2nd semester. But for the 2nd semester, we hope that all of the plans for service learning of different academic departments, colleges, will be fully implemented because we support service learning initiatives. The senior high school has been doing great with that. And this year, we will be working hard to really implement the different capacity building activities that we have lined up for faculty members, students, and staff, particularly in working with communities. So we will be implementing that within this semester. And at the same time, we are also establishing new partnerships and strengthening
and friendships.
Yes, and strengthening existing partnerships. And also, last school year last time we have signed a partnership agreement, I think, with 5 communities. And this year we are signing with, I think, another 3 more. And at the same time, we are signing an MOA with the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, for a research and community engagement project that will be implemented here in Negros Oriental. And at the same time, we are exploring another friendship with partner institutions abroad. And with the International Christian University, Japan, we are happy that we have extended our partnership, but we are extending for the next 3 years, siguro 2026 until 2029, something like that. But we are hoping that there could be more students from Silliman that could join programs like.
At saka available kami ni Ron for chaperone.
Yes, and faculty members.
We're just one call away,
Yeah, of course. No. So yun mag-Japan din.
Yes.
Winter in
So
Japan.
exciting year,
Yes,
in other words. So we're really running out of time, and we really want to have an extension of this conversation. But to culminate our talk tonight, your tagline goes, serve to learn, learn to serve. Or it could be the other way around. So far, what have you been learning about yourself in your service learning experience? Let's start with Sevi.
All right.
What did you learn about Sevi?
During the whole program?
Yes.
Yeah, for me, there were qualities within like how Japanese people behave that I would like to like emulate upon myself or like do upon myself. Like for example, of course, like what Heini mentioned, the punctuality aspect of how Japanese, for example, show up in whatever events, whatever activities they have to do. I would like that, of course, to be employed upon myself, like totally. Like I would like that to be one of the values that I have totally. And then, of course, how organized there is for how organized Japanese people are and how, in a way, ordered and disciplined Japanese people are.
So, punctuality, orderliness, and discipline. All right. Thank you so much, Ziv. Heini.
Yeah, so I've been volunteering for OCESL for almost 3 years
Parang
now.
napagod na din siya. Binibilang niya talaga lahat.
Parang gusto ko nang na-graduate kasi 3 years na yun.
And for me, I think one thing I've learned is there's so much to life that I think this does not end my journey in volunteering or in service learning since I'm graduating, but maybe after I still have a lot of time to volunteer for the community and everything I've learned in Japan. Yeah, like what Sevi mentioned, the emergency drill. We are really planning to apply it in our own communities and everything that we've learned in Japan. So yes.
Wow. May your tribe increase.
Yes.
Amen. Dami ng years mag-volunteer, mag-immerse.
Kahit 3 years
More
na yun.
years of immersion and volunteerism. Okay. Sir Novee, especially ikaw as the chief, chief architect of all of these events and activities, what are you learning and what are you learning about yourself?
That's a good question, no? But well, after all, at the end of the day, I think it's just always been meaning and purpose. Why are we doing this? What is this for? And what is the meaning? And so far, I think listening to them, to Heini and Urseevi, and I think if we could, get this message across that there is still so much more and there is also meaning and purpose in working with communities and doing something for them and with whatever you can do. I mean, that's on a personal note. Personal note, and that has always been something that motivated me and kind of also influenced my work at OCSL, that it should really come from that deep source. And well, after all, at the end of the another learning is that at the end of the day, we can only do so much. We can do the best, but we can only do so much. So do your best. For example, in a community, meeting a community need. We cannot really develop an entire community. But what we could do is could contribute to something that will develop that community. Yun, there is still wisdom in that that I've been kind of
Kumbaga, you
reflecting.
cannot really,
We can't solve it.
you cannot be the Superman,
Yes.
and I will solve this.
Yes.
But of course, this will go a long way into ripples.
Yes.
Yes. And then you were really right in what do you call this one? Describing Sir Novee, the noble Novee.
So meaning and purpose. Thank you very much, Sir Noves.
Thank
And
you,
thank you,
sir.
Heini and Sevi, for joining our episode. And we thank you as well. And it's our honor, Ron and I are honored to be of service in sharing to you the different updates here in the university. Until next week, see you, and to God be the glory. Hey there, Sillimanians, and Happy New Year! Thank you so much for watching our episode tonight. And don't forget to support our Facebook page. It's called #Silliman. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on your favorite episodes. And of course, my YouTube channel kami. Please like and subscribe. Hit nyo na rin yung notification bell for you to be updated with the recent posts. See you there.
And of course, catch us at Field Products Channel 6 every Monday at 8 p.m. Replays will be shown every Tuesday before the noontime news and every Saturday after the noontime news. This has been Ronelyn Vailoces-No.
And Joshua Soldivillo. Kita-kits next week on Here On
#Silliman! Happy New Year!
Arigato, arigato, arigato.